the Know Your Gear podcast.
I just bought a Princeton from 1974. It came with a Jensen Special Design Red. What would you do to upgrade like jazz and rock? There's a video of a guy who goes through all the Princeton 10-inch speakers. I have a Jensen in this one that I like, but I don't love, but I'm not going to swap it. Like I said, I really like the Celestion Gold. It's going to make the amp a little not darker, a little louder, just a little louder, which is weird, but a little louder because it lets out, and it's going to be a little darker, which is really, I think, a nice combination for the Princeton. Take some of those highs out. If this is your first Princeton, I would caution not to change the pickup before you learn the amp's controls. So here's the trick, okay? Here's the trick. The trick is, what's the trick? Here, let me show you. I can do something that's pretty cool. So, I'm going to, hopefully not mess this up. Okay, hold on a second. Eli, I'm going to help you with something. Okay, you guys can still hear me. Don't worry, you'll see in a second. I'm showing you the amp. Okay, so you guys can see the amp now. This is the Princeton. So you see where I was playing earlier. The volume is just above 2, okay? My treble is at 4. My bass is at 3, right? Reverb is at 3, and then, of course, I have the tremolo off, okay? Now, the reason I tell you that is you got to understand, these controls always start with a Princeton or a 65 Deluxe reverb, always start on 0. And, in fact, this is just a trick with all amps, okay? Every amp. Always start with your tone controls at 0. And here's why. If you turn off all 2 or all 3 tone controls and you have no sound, that means each tone control is adding gain as you turn them up. A little interesting fun fact. Everybody always goes to 5. And that's great, but this is just another way of looking at it. So what I do is I take an amp like this and I go, oh, it's too bassy or too bright. But I always take an amp and I go, I know it's hard to hear me because I'm far away from the mic, but go to 1. I know it says 0, but you get the idea. 1. And then, like I said, make your adjustments this way. And you'll find what you think, because everybody, when you go here, your brain says, I only have this much travel to go on my controls when you go from the center point. But the reality is, you have lots of travel. So, go back. Look at that, I'm back. So, I hope you guys can hear me okay. I know I get far from the mic. But my point is that learning the tone controls on an amp is something as basic as a Fender. The tone controls on a Princeton, which is just bass and treble, most people are like, oh, there's not a lot of control. There is a massive amount of control in that amp. Keep in mind the thing about Fenders. Again, you might be a Fender, a player, and so I'm not telling you anything new, but I'm just telling you guys something. This also goes for the 65 Deluxe amps. The other misnomer is that you only have a treble and a bass. The truth is that amp does have a mid-range control. It's just fixed. So there is a mids. It's just fixed into a position. Essentially, they just put so I'm not an amp guy, but you just have to understand there's something in the amp where your mids are fixed. So you do have mids. So with Fender amps, I always start from 0. In fact, all amps, just start from 0. Zero out your controls and move from there. If you find a great spot on it, it sounds great, you don't have to buy a speaker. And that will help you. And then if you don't, then try speakers. I like the Celestion Gold. I like the Celestion Greenback. I like the Celestion Greenback in 10s. Obviously, I must like Celestions. So that's what I recommend over, other speakers. But, like I said, salt to taste. Do what you like. But I like Celestions, especially in those amps. I have a Celestion in my 68. Well, not anymore because I turned it into a head, but I run it through a Celestion. That's why I like having the original speaker in this, because this is my original sound. So I have like a modded and unmodded Princeton in my mind by having the speaker. So if you like this clip and you'd like to watch another one, you can click right here. And if you want to see the entire episode of the podcast, you can click right there. As always, thank you for your time and know your gear.